This is DART every day. We don't have enough officers.
Dozens of DART police officers tell CBS 11 News they need more reinforcements as roving gangs play havoc on the light rail system. Passengers like Constantino Roscoe say there are usually no DART officers in sight when you need one the most.
I was really scared. I really was scared.
If you're ranked number one in crime of all the major cities in America, what makes us think it is not going to hit DART as well?
Gregory McCain is spending 20 years in state prison. His mother, Norma, is spending her life savings trying to set him free.
Bob Johnson said that they could do it. He was taking my money without doing anything.
He led us down the primrose path.
He's running a scam.
CBS 11 has found the families of 18 inmates who paid parole and probation services. They showed us documentation, which they said falsely led them to believe that parole and probation services would greatly increase the chances of their loved ones being set free.
I think he needs to be behind bars.
And behind bars is where our CBS 11 investigation traced Bob Johnson. Not a lawyer and not Bob Johnson, but rather Robert or Bob Coates. Several of his former clients identified him from his mugshot. Parole and Probation Services makes claims that it is in constant communication with the board about inmates' cases, but we're told you can't meet with a parole board member before a hearing. The company says inmates can receive an earlier review, a procedure that does not exist. And in one letter, Fletcher even threatens to turn his good buddy, Attorney General Greg Abbott, onto a complaining client. But the AG's office says Abbott has never heard of Jeff Fletcher.
You're not allowed to customize it?
Brandon Sparks needs to be on the computer and a cell phone. He's in real estate and spent $600 on a Trio smartphone. And right out of the box, phone problem.
Drop calls, bad signals.
Brandon's wireless carrier sent him 3 replacements, but he couldn't get out of his contract. He was in cell phone jail. Palm says the Trio 650 is one of the best devices on the market. You can talk, send email, snap pictures, and cruise the web. And it's on the web where we found hundreds of complaints about this device.
My husband and I were in the other room, heard a popping noise. The room was filled with smoke.
Heat from the laptop was melting the carpet, so the Browns took the computer outside. The pictures they started taking tell the rest of the story.
5 minutes and it was in flames. It doesn't seem real that you'd have a fire in a computer. We could have all died. The house could have burned down.
And that has happened. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the fire that left this 2-story apartment complex in Mississippi charred in November was also caused by a laptop. In 2004, the commission received a report of a laptop fire in a kindergarten room in Houston. That same year, a laptop fire severely burned a woman in her dorm in New York. More recently, a hotel bed caught fire, a laboratory caught fire. The CPSC has received 176 incidents involving laptop fires due to battery or power system failure.
Pull the chocks.
A night vision camera on a Texas Air National Guard RC-26 reconnaissance aircraft scans the Rio Grande.
Pilot, we're going to move down the river.
The patrol reveals the very porous nature of the Texas-Mexico border.
That's your agent there. They're walking up on him. He's going to get him. Here he comes. There they go. They're running.
There you go, agent, on the ground.
Jasper, get underground! Underground!
It's dangerous, and it's everywhere. From a rural trailer park in New York State to this apartment complex near downtown Dallas. Crystal methamphetamine. Addicts who take it can stay high for days.
It's such an incredible rush.
It's so easy to make that it's growing more popular on the club scene, the drug of choice for many young people.
The earliest remembrance that I have of what I would consider to be a sexual addiction was when I was 7 and my cousin was 4, and I abused her.
Mike is a sex addict. He didn't realize it until he got fired for viewing internet pornography at work.
One day I'm making a great salary with benefits, prestige within a company. The next day, I've got nothing.
Nestled among 450 acres of rolling hills and pasture land in East Texas is a charming old dude ranch. But the outward peace of Sundown Ranch belies the internal conflict of its residents.
I was 13 when I first started using.
My drugs of choice are meth and weed. I use marijuana.
I use pretty much everything.
But every addict here must face their fears at the Pamper Pole.
It's about taking risks, it's about trusting others, going one step at a time as they climb the Pamper Pole till they get ready to jump.
17-year-old Jessie claims climbing this pole is nearly as frightening as quitting drugs.
Oh my gosh! Grab onto yourself, okay? Trust yourself. Are y'all gonna catch me if I just fall off? You got it. Oh, stand up, Jessie. Oh my gosh. What are you jumping for, Jessie?
My recovery.
So you're jumping to your recovery. What are you leaving behind?
My pain. 1, 2, 3. Drugs never made you feel good. Drugs, you thought you were feeling good, but really you'd just be like laying on the floor, you know, not feeling good. But that was like healthy and exhilarating.
The hot sun is beating you down. The beads of sweat on the glass call your name.
I don't think there's anything better on a hot day than a cold glass of iced tea. Makes me want to take the iced tea plunge. Well, before we take a refreshing sip of iced tea, let's find out how fresh this iced tea really is.
We went to 10 local restaurants and served up a cup of iced tea like you would for lunch. Then poured the tea into sterile containers and sent them to a lab. This is what the microbiologists found in some of our iced tea: fecal coliform bacteria.
The poker craze has taken over.
Bring it on.
Celebrities are now fixtures in poker rooms. Cable networks dedicate entire days to tournaments.
Wow, it's so much Hollywood.
And as we showed you last year, there are hundreds of private games played in North Texas. But now there's a new dynamic. More women are going to the table.
I think it's about time that more women get out there and they, show their strength at the table.
Ace.
It's not just boys' night, not anymore.
The halls of North Dallas High School are loaded with art, but it's the art on the outside that's drawing attention. 12 large self-portraits, each of them full of color, depth, and detail, just like the students who painted them.
The way you feel about yourself, it shows through what you produce.
For Stephanie, that meant lots of dark colors.
Usually I come to school and I'm really tired. I didn't want to hide all those feelings. I don't want to mask it up with anything rainbows because it's not me.
Flor Wara's portrait is just the opposite.
It's a very colorful, lively picture.
Not all of these students will go on to be artists, but they'll always have this reflection of themselves.